everyone, it's Erin. So welcome to February's Alchemy Scope. Already, the month of January flew by for me. I don't know how it was for you. I am wondering though, I wish we could engage because I am very curious how you are doing now. This particular month for me was quite intense on a variety of different levels. And if you are sensitive, and even if you're not sensitive, I would say everyone is feeling some sort of response to this time frame. I've spoken to several clients that are feeling increased pressure, that they're feeling obligated to follow their particular soul's story. And there's other things too. Lots of people are feeling stuck and kind of knowing that action is required, but they're not clear about what the action is. So there is this real time right now of kind of marination and having to turn inward, having to go inward. And for many people, for some of us, it's okay to do that. Like, we're used to doing that. We actually like doing that. It's a self-investigation process. But for several people, it's highly uncomfortable. They hate going within. And so there's this rejection about that. And so a lot of people are distracting themselves more and more. In fact, I will say just today, it was actually interesting because I was going to film this intro today. And I experienced two people within an hour of one another that replicated the exact same qualities to me. And it was quite stunning. They were walking zombies, completely not tuned in, not connected. And it was either a severe numbness that was going on, that they had so much going on, either emotionally or in their life, in their mind, that they couldn't connect, or it's like they were just blank, void. And I have to say, more and more people, I'm coming upon more and more and more people like that. So if you're watching this video and you tend to want to distract yourself because you don't want to feel, you don't want to go inside, this time frame is about, we're obligated to grow ourselves. We're obligated to go within. We're obligated to actually feel what's going on and evolve it. So that's why this channel was started, by the way. And the Alchemy Scopes are going to be just one component of this channel, I will say. There's other projects that are in the works. That's why this video is a little bit late. So, yeah, so let's look at why. Why are a lot of us feeling pressure, or maybe there's a lot of stuff coming from the past, like you might have been flooded with maybe even strange, like memories you haven't thought of in forever that are coming forward this month. There's reasons for this. On the macrocosmic scale, there's a lot going on. We have Pluto. This was about mid-January that it was exact, but Pluto is squaring the moon's nodes, the south node and the north node of the moon. So what does this mean? Well, Pluto is, the planet of transformation, deep transformation, like serious, deep, cut to the chase transformation. And the moon's nodes are about habituated habits, patterns of being. The north node is about where we need to go, where we're being urged to go, where we're obligated to go. And so right now, the south node, and so the other aspect is that Uranus was exactly conjunct the south node on the 20th of January. So not only do we have this Pluto square the nodes, but we have the Uranus-Pluto square activated alongside Uranus exactly conjuncting that south node. So what does that mean? That is exceeding pressure to change habituated habits of self. Thinking, feeling, being in the world, It's big. It's really big stuff. Now, on top of that, we have the fourth consecutive, in fact, on the 20th. So when Uranus was conjunct the south node, we had our fourth consecutive 0-degree new moon. When I was recording the previous Alchemy Scopes, I didn't have my 2015 ephemeris yet. And I was stunned when I saw that the first new moon of 2015 was this 0-degree Aquarius new moon. Here we are in the age of Aquarius, and this is an Aquarius new moon, 4th of 4 consecutive new moons. The next new moon will be at a 29 degree, so a critical point. Also, by the way, in Aquarius, so we'll have 2 new moons in Aquarius, one at the 0-degree point, one at the 29 critical degree point. Very, very, very potent time, you guys. Very big. So if you're feeling stressed, impatient, angry, maybe you're raging about things, depressed, sad, there might have been grieving that's been coming up for you, deep sadness about what's next, what's coming, what do I even want? You know, that's kind of the big thing for a lot of people is, I don't even know what I want. I know I want something different, but I don't know what I want. So there's a lot of pressure with that. And a lot of people too are feeling the pressure to live in alignment with their core self. This is just the time. And I will tell you, this spring is going to be potent. So this first quarter of 2015 is hot, it's potent, it's rich. You want to drink it in. You have no choice, really. I mean, we are here to drink it in. But the more you push it away, deny it, avoid it, don't want to feel, you know, distract, it's going to come at you no matter what. So either you accept it and you go with that flow, you either work with nature's principles and you work with least effort, or you resist it and something breaks, something collapses in your life, something suddenly falls apart that maybe you weren't willing to look at. Maybe it was right in front of your face that it was about ready to fall apart, but maybe not. So anyway, so there's reasons for this potentiated time frame that we're walking through right now, this chapter of this human story that we're walking. It is very, very big. And it's very rare. We're not gonna, this is unique. This is unique. I mean, certainly none of us are ever gonna experience anything like this in our lifetimes. And probably it won't ever exist exactly like this. This is a cycle in a big macro cycle. So this is highly unique, this period of time that we're walking. So that's what's going on. So I hope that you're able to embrace this rich, challenging, obligating, unrelenting time frame and know that you are here to get clarity, to get still, to get quiet, to create space for yourself, to be willing and brave to go within, to really face, in fact, invite the wounds and all the stuff to come up and come forward, and allow that process. Because by allowing the process, by allowing what's already happening to happen, then the magic happens. Then you'll start to, your eyes will start to open wider. You'll start to see more broadly. You'll begin to see the synchronicities that are taking place to support your transmutation from your old self to your new self. Because that's what this time frame is. It's about transmuting from the old, from the lead to the new, to the gold. This is about your evolution. Okay? So let's talk about the macrocycle for this particular cycle, which is this 0-degree Aquarius new moon. The symbol, the Sabian symbol that's imbued with this new moon is an old adobe mission in California. Now, this one was a hard one for me to really feel, you know, to really get a real sense of the deeper meaning of this particular Sabian symbol. Dane Rudyard talks about it in a way when he goes into an explication of this particular symbol. It doesn't resonate for me. How he speaks about it doesn't resonate for me. He talked about impressiveness. He says, you know, while becoming an integral part of it. So it's mastery of man over environment while becoming an integral part of it. It's not really that, in my view. This was about Catholic priests coming to California trying to convert the indigenous Native Americans to an organized religion and taking them out, you know, devaluing their belief system and bringing forward, imposing another. To me, this particular old Adobe mission picture is something that's abandoned and no longer used. So to me, that means, or that what that the flavor of that and what it evokes in me, and it'll evoke different things in different people. And that's exactly what these symbols should do. But for me, when I interpret that, especially when we're looking at this kind of human evolutionary journey that we're all taking right now, this is quite definitively about that way of being is old and antiquated and no longer working. So it's about moving to a different way. It's about moving to the North Node in Libra way, which is cooperation, and it's relational. It's based on relationships. It's not based on just the self. It's based on the self in relationship. And whenever you're in relationship, and life equals relationships. Life is all about relationships, not people to people only. Our relationships to our thinking, our relationships to our feelings, our relationships to events and circumstances, our relationships to our environment and context. Life is nothing but relationships. So the North Node in Libra is quite interesting with this particular Adobe mission. You know, those ways of coming in to an area and telling the peoples of the place, that has no value. This is what you value. That doesn't work anymore. It's very old paradigm, and it's something that's crumbling away, like an old Adobe mission. So take that symbol in a way that speaks to you. And Dane says, when positive, the degree is effective breadth of vision and a respect compelling depth of character. And when negative, lack of ambition and blind adherence to superficialities. So I'll leave that with you. You can take from it what you will. I have my own idea about what it means for the bigger picture of us, for us as both as individuals, but on the collective level of what is not working for the old paradigm and what is crying, screaming to come into play for the new paradigm of thought. So, okay, everybody, that was a lot. So let's talk about what else is going on the macro and the microcosmic levels for you. Hi, Capricorn. So let's take a look at the I Ching that came up for you to reflect the theme for your February 2015. You received number 18, repairing what is spoiled. The two trigrams that make up this hexagram are mountain above, wind below. And a reminder that I'm using the language here from the visionary I Ching. Something has been spoiled, and it is time to repair the damage. In the world of human affairs, indulgence and corruption grow like weeds in an untended garden. They must be faced squarely and rooted out through bold action. Eliminating corruption and the sloppiness that often leads to corruption is one of the most ennobling of all human enterprises and can clear the way for fresh new beginnings. Such repair leads to supreme success. The time has come to be lean and efficient. The weeds must be rooted out now before the whole garden is lost. Fighting decay, indifference, and corruption is not a simple matter. All steps must be evaluated carefully, and planning must precede action. Resist the temptation to strike out prematurely. Gather strength behind you and marshal your inner resources, because arresting decay is no simple matter. When you do act, pay close attention to the process. Make your strike as precise and clear as the path of the surgeon's knife. All right, so let's take a look at what your spread is bringing forward now. Hi, Capricorn. So let's take a look at a spread to see what event or circumstance might be coming forward for you this month for your growth. This is going to be similar to last month. I am using the Bral Talej deck this month, a great deck developed in the northern Italian community of Damenier by a wonderful woman by the name of Shama. And similar spread. We're going to focus in the center about what the event or circumstance is, and then the other cards are going to show the support, meaning what your higher self is recommending is the optimal way to approach the event or circumstance. So let's see what is wanting to come up here for Capricorns. Okay. All right. So the center issue at hand is about something's going to come forward that's going to evoke your imagination. You're wanting to have, you're desiring things to work. You're dreaming and fantasizing about what you want in your life, what you want to see unfold, what things you want to see come together. So there's going to be this theme. It's not necessarily an event that's going to occur that we're picking up here. This is actually talking about, a theme within this month that's going to be you imagining, dreaming, wishing, praying for things to come together, things to work, things to come together. Now what's happening? So Spirit, the recommendation there. Now there's something here about a spiritual teacher that's coming up. So this could very well be that it's recommended that you actually seek some teachings that resonate for you. So it's not necessarily about seeking a bunch of different teachers, because you really, essentially, you are your own teacher. But there could be guidance out there for you right now that could be quite helpful. And you're going to want to find what is speaking to you, what's speaking your language. So actual spiritual teachings is a recommendation for you this month, which is actually quite interesting. On a foundational level, the recommendation is regarding this desire, this dreaming, this imagining, this wishing, this wanting for things to be working and flowing and being synchronistic and, coming together for you. And this could be, by the way, regarding a project or a work situation or home. I have a feeling this is more about big life decisions stuff. This is about the bigger picture for you. This is really what I'm getting. On a foundational level, Spirit is saying, persevere. You want to actually stay engaged in the desire, stay in the want, persevere with it. Interestingly, woman is coming up, woman and the feminine. I'll show you some of these cards. So at a foundational level, you're asked to really tap in. This is my sense. Tap into your feminine nature. And you want to let that be a strong factor feeding your perseverance in your dreams. So either there's a woman, a specific woman or women, maybe a group of women that are helping you or are part of this foundational new beginnings that you're wanting to see, or they're a network of support for you that can help feed your dream. It's either that or it's a matter of feeding your feminine nature and letting that feed the perseverance, kind of this consistent strength, foothold, foundational self, so that you can, catapult your dreams into reality. Interestingly, there is some emotional fight going on. So there is some internal struggle. You're going to feel some emotional tension this month.
regarding this. And this is not unusual at all, because especially during this time frame, there's a lot of dissolution of the old as we're birthing the new, and it's a very dynamic time of releasing and letting go while being in the unknown, you know, while new things start to birth, or even have not even started to birth yet. You know, maybe it's just at the very seed stages. So there's some emotional resistance going on. And the resistance could be regarding spiritual teachings, by the way. So it's kind of interesting, because there could be this kind of Capricorn practicality that's very activated for you this month, and that's okay. But Spirit is saying, you know, be mindful of this emotional tension within you, because this is within. If it's regarding spiritual teachings, that's okay too, but determine what the issue is there. So it could be that you're going to have some issue with a spiritual teacher or some spiritual teachings. But the guidance is to tap into the spiritual realm, to tap in, to connect with what does resonate with you. You want to release the fight. Definitely you want to release the fight. Let it go. Determine what that is. Determine what it is. Become friends with it, and really get clear about it, and then let it go. Honor it and let it go. Now, your mind is going to be very active, it looks like, in this next cycle. It's going to be busy. You might be focused on work. You might be focused on your career and your work in the world. And actually, the guidance is to focus on your work in the world. And it very well could be that this dream that you're wanting to make manifest, you know, that of your deepest desires, it could be that this is specifically, the topic is work. Spirit is asking you, though, to focus on what you bring forward in the world, you know, focus on it. There's also an element here, though, too, of busy mind. And I would say you want to watch the busy mind, because there is a lot of activity energetically, mentally right now that is creating distraction very easily within us. You want to be mindful of that, especially if you are very practically minded. You want to be careful not to overwork the mind, to stress the emotions, and then to deny spirit. So what I'm getting here is you want to be mindful, you want to release the fight, you might focus on the work as the desire, but you want to watch the busy mind, meaning you want to start to release that. And again, the spiritual teachings, I don't think it's a matter of being taught any particular thing, but it is a matter of diving into the spiritual essences, information that is resonant for you at this time, because that is going to feed what you want to see, the synchronicities that you want to see come into play. It's going to feed it. It will serve you. So, yeah. So that looks like that's going to be a topic for you this month. So let's see what else we have for you this month, Capricorn. Capricorn, hi. So I'm whispering just a little bit because I am out here at Stanford University at the Cantor Art Center at the Rodin Sculpture Garden. I wanted to have the Gates of Hell in the background as a appropriate symbol for all of us, the time frame that we're moving through. So let's look at, I've already pulled your cards. You received some beautiful cards this month. Now let's look at the archetype that wants to be evolved, attended to and evolved within you. Now I have to say Mystic, which is the archetype you received, is so delicious for you. Capricorns tend to be, you know, foundational and structured. realistic, practical, earthbound. And you got mystic. So the shadow attribute of mystic is delusional rapport with the divine. The evolved, higher frequency manifestation of mystic is revels in intimate union with the divine. So this is about connecting with spirit on deep and new levels. Now, interestingly enough, I'm getting some interesting cards this month for the Ascended Master guidance. The guidance you have is about healing the feminine. And it could be about a woman, a particular woman in your life. You get Lady Nada, mother, wife, sister, daughter. Another sign got this. Another sign also got the male version of the card. So let me read to you what Doreen Virtue writes here. The issue that you're asking about involves a significant woman in your life, such as your mother, wife, girlfriend, sister, or daughter. The first person who comes to mind is correct. Any unhealed feelings that you carry toward this person could be blocking or slowing the manifestation of your dreams, as well as leading to imbalances. This is a perfect time to call upon God, your guides, and angels to release any toxins associated with the past or present female relationship. This process opens the way for healthy relationships with women, including your own feminine energy. As I said in the previous video for another sign, this is a profound time that we're moving through astrologically. So on a macrocosmic scale, there are massive stories playing out regarding the healing of the feminine at very deep and profound levels. This could very well be a particular woman in your life. If that's the case, that's perfect, because it's the microcosmic manifestation of a woman, a female relationship that needs to be healed. When you heal the self, you heal the whole. So this is about deep healing of self so that you can heal not only the whole of your life and the rest of your relationships, but that it imparts that healing into the whole, into the cosmic soup, as it were. Wonderful. So this is profound. It's delicious. So let's look at what else we have for you this month, Capricorn. So Capricorn, you received a very interesting Dakini. This one has not come up for me before. And it's going to be interesting because I have a very strong suspicion that this Dakini is going to play really differently among all the Capricorns that are listening to this particular scope. And you'll know why. You received number 25, Mistress X. And essentially, this is a dominatrix Dakini. And this is going to bring forward loads of various, assessments by different people listening to this reading. And you know what? All of them apply. So I'm gonna read a bit here again. This is from Penny Slinger 64 Dakini Oracle. And she comes from a place, as do I, of deep reverence for all aspects of the feminine. So it's very important before reading this that this is not exploitive. This is a deep honoring of all of the roles that are embodied within the feminine as one larger whole. So I just wanted to make that statement. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so this is what Penny writes for Mistress X. In Mistress X's formula, the fire of her intensity is reflected in the fire she arouses in the other, requiring the waters of surrender in between. Who is Mistress X? Her glyph is that of the dominatrix. As a powerful archetype, particularly in the erotic arena, she takes her position in this pantheon. She evolves from the cycle of wrathful Dakinis of the 64 Yogini temples. She is the one who assumes control and demands surrender. As such, she is one of the challenge Dakinis, challenge in quotes. In a typical glyph of the wrathful Dakini, she may trample her devotees beneath her feet. So more of what Penny writes under the divinatory meaning for Mistress X is, why are you here? Have you been a naughty boy or girl? Have you subjugated others? You have been sent here for some discipline, a little lesson on how to surrender. Mistress X is here to relieve you of your guilt by punishing you. Do you have power issues? Mistress X is here to set you straight. The dominator needs the dominated as much as the dominated needs the dominatrix. This is the double binding of her bondage. Are you in some kind of a relationship in your life that has a codependent aspect? Do you take out your frustrations in life on someone near you? Does someone do that to you? It is in relation to another person, or is it habits? Is it in relation to another person, or is it habits and patterns in your own life that have you bound? Mistress X says it's time for you to take a look at all this. Sometimes these kinds of syndromes are pretty sneaky, hiding in your consciousness under different guises and not being recognized for what they are. If things are not perfect in a relationship, the consciousness tends to get into playing habitual games, little cat and mouse scenarios, that both deflect from the main issues and offer ongoing subtle and insidious power plays and manipulations. Look for these patterns. Mistress X says it's time, and she is here to support you in this process. Nothing gets past her. She will be strict with you if necessary, especially if you have allowed yourself to get slack in your approach to these issues. Time to take things in hand and not allow yourself to stoop to these kinds of interactions. These are forms of invisible bondage that tie us with restraints that are stronger than the visible ones. These patterns keep us repressed and locked on certain levels of interaction and make us unable to evolve and develop within the relationship. Both sides lose. Time to break free by first recognizing and acknowledging what you are doing. Stand back and observe. In regards to worldly status, respect all beings in whatever role they play in life. All roles are reversible. So there's more here, like with all of the other Penny Slinger PDF documents, which have, more information in them. The link to access that is below this video. So if you'd like to dive a little deeper, you can. But Mistress X is a beautiful Dakini. It's a powerful one, and one requiring, responsibility and accountability and clarity of self and of other. And also surrender to the roles. It's very interesting. So let's go ahead and finish off your month for you now.
So everyone, that is it for this month's Alchemy Scope. I want to remind you that if you haven't gotten your archetypal profile or symbolic profile, the information will be below. I also want to let you know that this month, January, between the Alchemy Scopes, the intention was to bring forward other videos because there's a big list of goodies that I want to be producing and making. And they are in the works, actually. So look for tools coming forward in February, starting in February, but it'll be ongoing. This is going to be throughout 2015 and beyond. But there will be foundational pieces of information coming forward that will help you. And I'm really excited because the pieces that I'm bringing forward are, they're going to be good. They're going to be good, and it's going to be easy to understand. These are not going to be long videos either. They're going to be kind of brief teachings to the point. 4 foundations of this, 4 foundations of this. So this is going to be delicious. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, you want to subscribe. And please like and share. I have to tell you, I hate saying that on this whole YouTube thing. It's like and share. You guys know that already. So I'm going to actually try to avoid saying that because I don't know. There's something about it. It's so salesman-y. I can't get over it. I'm getting used to this whole world of, I don't know, marketing myself. It's a trip. It's really a trip, but it's an interesting process. And I will say, kind of a little tag note on that, I'm quite confident that there is a whole new way of marketing ourselves that has nothing to do with what these bloggers and these social media marketers are insisting that we do in order to get ourselves known. It's like, I only want to be known. In fact, I know that I'll only be known by those who want to know me. So I'm not attached to that. Do I want more views on the key videos that are to come? I do, because I think that they're going to be foundationally helpful. I think they're going to be foundational for this new paradigm of the new human. So that's that. That's my whole spiel. But I thought I'd make that point because I don't know, this whole social media thing is very interesting. Anyway, so until the next video or until next month's Alchemy Scope, I wish you a wonderful February, and I'll see you soon.